Biden is losing. He is losing big time in the polls. In fact, there's a new one out today. NPR and Marist, what did they find? They found the independents are starting to say, wait a second, this guy's no good for our country. In fact, who's the bigger threat to democracy? It's not Donald Trump. MSNBC had to cover it. Let's watch their take.
Another thing interesting in this polling was more independents said that they worry about President Biden weakening democracy than Trump, 53% to 42%. What do you make of this?
I find it shocking, honestly. I can't, make sense of that number. I wish I could. I wish I had some really great insight to it. But I don't know if it's an outlier or not, because the other numbers with independents and Biden are going in the right direction. So that may be it. But also, just one thing I wanted to add on to what Basil said. This trial's not on TV. You guys do a great job reporting what's happening. But if there aren't those images coming out of the courthouse, people feel like they know this story. We've heard about it for a long time. So it doesn't surprise me that they're not interested.
Okay. She doesn't understand. She can't possibly understand. I mean, how could anybody ever think that Joe Biden might be a bigger threat to democracy than Donald Trump, right? I mean, if you're living in your little cave there at MSNBC and you're stuck in that little mindset where you only talk to people who agree with you all the time, then I guess that's how you're going to think. But if you get out into the real world, what do you see? You say, oh, we got an economy that is a mess. Inflation on steroids. We have an international situation that is quite precarious right now. So precarious that now Republicans are looking to actually launch articles of impeachment against Joe Biden because he won't provide an ally with the necessary aid that it needs. I mean, it's like one thing after another. Meanwhile, you got a border situation that's obviously clearly messed up. More than 8 million people coming into the country. Now, Democrats just voting this week to say that they wanted all of those people that have come into the country to be counted in the census so that you can have an electoral count that's in sync with however many people are in the census. I mean, okay, now we get it. Oh, that's what that was about. That's why you wanted 8 million people coming across the border. Those are the ones that we have seen. Aha, that's why you were flying people in the dead of the night with our taxpayer money. They used your money to fly people into the cities and states that they wanted them in. I mean, it's really pretty undemocratic, if you ask me. And then, of course, you look at what's going on with Donald Trump. They're trying to actually jail an opponent. They're trying to keep him out of the race however they can. It's so obvious to everyone. And so that is why independents are deciding 53 to 42 that the bigger threat to the country is not Donald Trump, but Joe Biden. And it's not just Joe Biden, mind you, because Kamala Harris would be the exact same way, possibly worse. Gavin Newsom would be the exact same way, possibly worse. In other words, they have a mindset now. They have a formula. Obama taught them, and they think they can continue this forward. Well, that's not how we play. That's not how we roll in America. I mean, we don't do what they did down in Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia. The story I told you about yesterday. If you didn't see it, go back and check it out. The Georgia Oversight Panel finding that they counted votes twice in Fulton County. 3,000 votes twice. 3,075 ballots. And then there were allegations of other irregularities. According to this election monitor panel, they did a whole investigation and so now they've decided that they've got to have some assurance that this will not happen again. So come 2024, they're going to have some oversight. But you're sitting there saying, what the heck is going on, ladies and gentlemen? These are not the rules by which you're supposed to play. So sure, MSNBC, they don't understand how half the country, more than half the country, 53% of independents now think that Joe Biden is the biggest threat to democracy. But I guarantee you, you do. You know it. I know it. Independents know it. Just nobody's told MSNBC.